we're going to go into the dealer's license and legal, just so that you guys are more aware of kind of that aspect of it. I am going to give you a warning. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis here, but understand that protecting yourself is extremely important. I know a lot of people, when they get started, they get super overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, what kind of business entity should I start? I need to get the license, all these things, but they have never even started their marketing or talked to any, sellers or had any deals. So of course, protecting yourself is important, but don't get stuck in wondering all those things. Keep it simple. Try to do everything as simple as possible when you're getting started. And then as you start doing more deals and more deals, that's when you can add on the more complicated stuff. And always, always, always consult with legal and professional and accounting professionals. We do not rely on our legal advice alone. We take zero responsibility as your legal or accounting team. This is just our tips and advice as far as what we've learned over the years, but we're not representing you guys as legal and accounting professionals. So take it with what it is, and make sure you ask a professional that actually knows what your situation is. Okay, so after that, we're going to go into the dealer's license. So what is a dealer's license? So there's mobile home dealer's license. They're used to regulate buying and selling of mobile homes and parks. Every state has some sort of license that you can get. You have to check your state requirements because every state is different. Google is where you'll find your best information on that. Just go ahead and Google mobile home dealer's license and your state. We're dealers here in Arizona, and it does come with some benefits, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. Usually you'll get your dealer's license through the Department of Housing. They are the ones that regulate the buying and selling of these types of homes. So if you're not able to find it on a simple Google search, look at the Department of Housing website. They usually have some sections for manufactured homes. And there's a few different types of licenses that you can get, at least here in Arizona. So the first one is a brokering license. This is your license to sell mobile homes, but it's not a license to actually purchase them. You can also be a realtor and sell mobile homes similar to this license. I wouldn't recommend getting a brokering license alone if you are planning to do the strategies that we have here. There's a dealing license that allows you to buy and sell homes, but it doesn't allow you to list them. And then there's a broker and dealer license combined. That's what we have, where we're able to list homes and we're able to buy and sell homes. So you're able to do all of the strategies that we talk about in this course. So I would recommend getting something similar to that. Okay, so getting your license. Again, some of the benefits are you're going to have more authority with parks and more authority with clients because they see that you're serious. They see that you're a professional, you're licensed. It just builds a lot of trust and credibility when you go in. And if they ask you, are you licensed? You can say yes. Not saying that you have to, but I think it helps us build credibility, especially with parks, because they know that they're dealing with another business and it's a little bit more professional. We recommend that you don't necessarily rush into getting your license, but think about applying after you've done 2 to 3 deals. At that point, you can decide, hey, I'm going to continue to do this, or no, I'm going to go in a different direction. And I don't want you wasting a ton of time trying to get a license if you're not necessarily going to stick it out for a long time. So here's some of the typical requirements that we went through in Phoenix. Again, you have to look at your state requirements, and every state is different. So it might be easier, it might be more, but from beginning to end, we were able to get our license in a matter of about 2 weeks. So it's not a super long process, but it's just a lot of paperwork.
And the test here in Phoenix was open book.
Yeah, it was open book. They give you all the regulations. It wasn't too bad. So the first thing they're going to do is most likely a background check. They want to make sure that your record is clean, no felonies. You will be required to have a business entity, so this has to go into an entity name. So definitely consider getting an LLC or some sort of business entity. We had to get bonded and insured. We were able to do all of that online. That is about, I think we're insured for up to maybe $25,000 on any deal. So I think it was like $500 a year. It's not anything super crazy. We had to take an exam on the regulations for the state. It was open book, so it wasn't too bad either. It's multiple choice. And then we had to get a trust bank account. This is optional. We didn't have to, but this allows us to be able to use our own bank account to as like an escrow instead of having to go through a third party.
With single family homes, they do use an escrow account. That's usually with a title company. Again, with our homes, unless the home is selling for above,
50,000.
yeah, about 50,000, you don't need an escrow. You can use that trust account.
And it makes it a lot easier because when we're collecting deposits and all of that, it's all through our own bank account, and we don't have to worry about dealing with any escrow. But this is your choice. Again, we know quite a few investors that are not licensed in their state. You can use personal property trust to avoid getting licensed, so your name is not necessarily on record. We did that in the beginning, and we use a lot of personal property trust to hold our properties. It works. It just makes it a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a hassle unless you are going to the same. We went to third party MPD. So unless you're getting that same individual to help you every single time to establish that personal property trust, it saves you a lot of time and money by just getting the license after you've done 2 or 3 deals.
Yeah. But until then, you can definitely use the personal property trust or your own name until you get to that point. So I'm going to briefly go over a few legal things. I definitely recommend getting an LLC for any real estate transactions. It's just going to make everything cleaner, and you are going to have to pay taxes on these types of transactions. Just a heads up, is any income that you earn, you should be paying taxes on it. So it just makes everything separate from you. It's for your own protection as well legally. When you have an LLC, kind of guards from you personally. So I recommend getting an LLC, even if it's something really quick online. You also need an LLC for your dealer's license, so make sure that you get that before you apply for a dealer's license. Most real estate attorneys, another thing I want to bring up is most real estate attorneys don't understand mobile homes and parks. This is a completely foreign language to them. So when you are talking to an attorney, you're going to have to ask around in this whole mobile home community and search for a mobile home experienced attorney. Because if you talk to a real estate attorney, the same real estate rules and jargon don't really mix with what we're doing. This is personal property. This is not like a traditional mortgage. This is a chattel loan. So it's completely different, and you want to make sure that you're getting the right advice.
And for those of you who are here local to Phoenix, just go ahead and shoot us an email. We have no problem giving you the contact to our attorney. Like Samara said, if you guys are finding real estate attorneys, you're also going to be finding that you're basically educating them on this entire industry, because it's totally different than real estate. Similar strategies, but just totally different from a legal aspect.
Yeah, definitely. So just giving you guys that heads of advice. And then using personal property trust, I'm going to go ahead and add an example of a personal property trust that we used when we got started. That's not something that we do anymore, so it's not something that we're going to definitely cover in this course. But if you do want to use personal property trust, you can definitely use our example file. It has all the instruction in there as well, and definitely consult an attorney before using it, but we can kind of help walk you through that as well if it's something you're interested in.